It's time for your SportsEdge.com Sideline Report with Todd Griffin. Talking sports and more here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com. Here's your host, Todd Griffin.
Good morning, everyone. The Sideline Report is on the air from 1035 West Main Street in Princeton. Thanks for joining us. This is Todd Griffin of WPKY Radio and your SportsEdge.com. Got a busy show planned today. Going to start things off with the Caldwell County tennis team. Tennis head coach Steve Cookie Hicko is in the house with us this morning. Also a couple of seniors in, Belle Engelbright and Madi Morgan. And Steve, like everybody else, the season came to an end, but you guys at least got one match in before you had to call things off.
We did. Like I said earlier in an interview with you, Todd, these kids have worked really tremendously hard for this upcoming season. In the studio today, we have two seniors that were an instrumental part in this tennis program the last 4 or 5 years, probably 6 years. And I hate it for them. I hate it for every athlete in Caldwell County, especially seniors that didn't get the opportunity to maybe showcase their talents this year.
Well, what can you do, though? I mean, we've talked about that before. There's no really good way to make that right. It's just, especially for the seniors and everybody on the team loses a year.
Yeah, and with these two young people that are here with this morning, I mean, they're I hate it for them mainly because they deserve their senior year, obviously, and they've done well in the last few years in representing Caldwell County in the regional and in the state tournament as well.
We're going to talk to a couple of the seniors when we get back. Need to get to a break, though, here on the Sideline Report. Back with more after this on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
At ABC Finance, we have always been committed to keeping our customers and our staff safe and healthy.
In response to the recent COVID-19 coronavirus outbreak, we have implemented several new policies company-wide to ensure the safety and well-being of all.
This includes limiting access to parts of our office to the public, isolating loan closings to one area, and frequently sanitizing all hard, frequently touched surfaces.
We have also asked our staff to please stay home in the event they are feeling unwell.
If you, as a customer, are unwell or are uncomfortable with getting out of the house, stay home. And please remember, payments can be made by phone or online at abcfinanceonline.com.
You can also apply for a loan on our website with fast decisions and quick turnaround time.
If you have any additional questions, please contact the office nearest you. Locations are listed on our website, abcfinanceonline.com.
Also, follow us on Facebook for the latest information. And stay safe from all of us at ABC Finance.
Riser Point Marina is looking for many team members dedicated to creating an environment that brings out the kid in us all. If you're a person that takes pride in creating great recreational and family fun experiences for others, then Riser Point needs you. They need you now. Lots of positions available. They offer great training in a fun atmosphere. To be part of the Riser Point team, go to priserpoint.com. Complete a resume online, and they'll call you for an interview. You can also find the link on the Find a Job page at WKDZRadio.com.
Out of an abundance of caution and in your best interest, public access to the Princeton Electric Plant Board office is restricted. Normal business operations will continue utilizing the drive-through window. Bill payments using online methods, bank drafts, and credit cards are encouraged, but checks and cash will continue to be accepted methods of payment. Utilizing the free online payment system from the comfort of your own home is both safer and more efficient for you. You will only need your account number, which is located on your bill, and a credit card or debit card to use this convenient feature. In an effort to help our community and assist our neighbors during this time of uncertainty, Princeton Electric Plant Board invites customers to call the office if they need additional time to pay their electric bill due to the loss of work. We appreciate our customers and look forward to working through this together.
During this trying time of the COVID-19 crisis, the Body Shop at Trice Hughes is open for business to help you with your repair needs. With the uncertainty that these times bring, Trice Hughes wants you to know they will help with your insurance deductible to get your vehicle repaired. Call for an appointment or free estimate at 270-365-5522. Working together with your home team at Trice Hughes will make sure you receive the service you deserve.
1580, 103.3 WPKY. Thanks for joining us this morning. Again, in the studio, we have a Caldwell County tennis team to start things off today. Coach Steve Cookie Hicko and seniors Belle Englebright and Madi Morgan. And Steve, you guys were set up to have a really nice season this year, but again, the whole COVID-19 thing kind of got in the way.
It did. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about what went on this year, except the times that I got to spend with these young people, learning the game of tennis along with the other coaches. It was truly a blessing in disguise, I guess.
We're going to start with Madi Morgan this morning and trying to social distance in the studio a little bit, so trying to limit the number of people in here at a time. But Madi, obviously tough not to get to play your senior season, but what were some of your goals kind of going into the season, some things you wanted to do this year?
Well, I wanted to meet Belle in the region final again so we could have our final time together and see who could win.
As a team, what kind of goals did you guys kind of have?
Well, we had a lot of new players, and we were just getting them in the groove, and hopefully they would have had some success too.
Talk about some of the success you've had, though. Even though you didn't get to play this year, you guys have had a ton of success the last 3, 4, 5 years going back.
2 years ago, me and Belle met in the region final, and Belle won, but I was the region runner-up in singles, and I also won the sportsmanship award for the region. And then last year, me and Chasey played doubles together, and we won in the region final and went to state, and we won in the first round but lost in the second.
What's some of your best memories? Because you got to play all those regional tournaments, you got to go to state. I mean, you have to have some pretty good stories from that.
Well, last year was definitely special because we won, but just having time with my team has always been fun. We always have fun.
What kind of plans do you have for the future? Are you going to keep trying to play tennis somehow?
Yes, my uncle plays and my dad plays, and I get lessons. I've gotten lessons from Coach Kent since I was 6, and I think I'll continue to do that, and I'll go out to the courts and help Coach K some, and help my brother.
Talking about the courts here, I got to ask you, though, are the Caldwell County tennis courts the absolute coldest place in town in the spring?
The windiest and the coldest.
Well, does that create some challenges when you're trying to play with the wind blowing and you're out there just kind of chilly?
Yes, the wind is awful. It blows the ball. It makes it hard to hit. It's not fun.
Well, I would think maybe there's a little home court advantage going on there because you guys are kind of prepared for that,
Yes.
and the other team's not.
Yes, we practiced in the wind. Miss Farmer, every year, she made us practice, and no matter how fast it was in the wind. So we were used to it.
Yeah. Steve, how much did you get to work with the seniors this year? And your first year on the job, kind of talk about that some.
I didn't have to do much. These young people know what to do. And, especially Madi. What's exciting about being around Madi was that she serves a hard ball. And I'm glad that her and Belle didn't ask me to play them because it would have been not good on my part. And but those two are along with Shelton, which he's unable to be here this morning, were leaders of the tennis team. And I've enjoyed the month or so being around them and watching them work at a sport that they'll remember for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
It's something you always play, obviously. And but they're good examples for our program and a good representation of the school.
Madi, do you have a special way you would describe your game? It seems like you're just a really consistent player, and that paid off for you.
Well, my forehand is very good. I don't mean to sound that way, but if they just hit it to my forehand, I usually just put it away and win the point. But if not, I just build up. Consistency is a key.
Looking back, do you have just one match here or there that really sticks out from your high school career? Or maybe one moment from your playing days?
Well, last year when we won.
Yeah.
But Region 2 tennis, it's not as competitive as state tennis when we're at state. So there's not as much competition in Region 2.
Talk about getting to go to state, and then you see those just really good players, especially the ones from Louisville and Lexington and Northern Kentucky. It really is a big step up.
When we go to state, we don't really know what to expect, because they're so much better than us. But getting a win or two is a big deal, and Bell made it to the Sweet 16 last year.
Well, congratulations on just a
Thank
great
you.
career. I hate it that you guys didn't get to play this year, but I appreciate you coming in. And, again, congratulations on just outstanding performance on the tennis court.
Thank you.
Steve, anything else you'd like to add?
Well, just again, let me echo the same sentiments that you mentioned to her, Todd. Yeah, I appreciate it. I don't know how much I'll get to see them over the summer, but I appreciate, Maddie being a part of the tennis program and enjoyed every minute being with her.
Well, as we trade out players here, where do you kind of go from here to get ready for your second year on the job?
Well, that was up in the air, and it still may be up in the air. I'm not quite sure what holds for next year or not. We'll just play it by ear and just see. Obviously, one of the intriguing things about coaching tennis this year was because of these young people right here. And kudos to Miss Farmer and Mr. Jadina for taking on the program for so many years. And just allowing me the opportunity, along with, I guess, being pushed by the other coaches to take this responsibility, which was a good responsibility. Don't get me wrong when I say that, but when you have a returning team of young people that have advanced in the region and the state, it sure makes that job a little easier. And this is one of them that very well deserving of all the accolades and awards that she's received over the last several years.
Yeah, joined now by Belle Engelbright, one of the seniors. And Belle, how many championships were you going for in a row this year?
Well, I was going for 4 in singles and then 5 total because I won doubles my 8th grade year. So.
And last year you got to go to state and did really well there too.
Yes, state last year, that was probably one of my best matches I've ever played. So.
What were kind of your personal goals going into the year this year?
This year, obviously, I wanted to win region all my 4 years of high school. And then, last year making it to the Sweet 16, that was always, that was my biggest goal for my entire, high school career. And I was fortunate enough to be able to accomplish that my junior year, so I knew I wanted to try and make it around farther. Even though that's really tough and competition at state's just a different atmosphere, I knew that I just wanted to push it one step further.
How much time does it take? How much time have you spent playing tennis to get to where you are?
I could not put a number on that. I wish I could. I'm gonna go, millions of balls. I can't. I've, spent my summers in tournaments all over the South. I mean, I've been all over, and I've had lessons, every week, and just going to Kinlake and the indoor facilities. So there's no telling.
It's really something that you work on year-round, right?
Yes. It's tennis, some people don't look at it this way, but for me, it was always a year-round sport. It never stopped. I was always getting lessons. I was always playing indoors, even if, we had to drive an hour for a court, and that's just always how it was.
Well, you've had an incredible high school career. What does the future kind of hold for you now?
Right now, I'm planning on going to the University of Kentucky. Going to major in marketing, and it's hard to give up tennis because it's always been such a big part of me and who I am, kind of my identity, part of it. And I could have played somewhere smaller probably, but I just knew it was probably time to hang it up. And I know at UK I'll want to try out for club tennis. I'll want to do whatever kind of tennis activities they have there. So I'm not planning to give up tennis completely yet. I'll definitely keep playing in college, but just not at the college level.
Well, you've played a whole lot of tennis. You've had a ton of success. What are some of your favorite memories or some of the tournaments you've won, not just high school, but throughout your tennis career?
Well, for high school, we always did a tournament in Murfreesboro. It was a team tournament. Everyone went. It was, a whole weekend. Everyone would spend the night, and it was always really fun just for the team because we'd all go out to eat, and then we'd all play. It was 4 matches a day, which is a lot for tennis. You almost never play 4 matches a day in anything, but it was really fun for everyone. And then outside of high school tennis, my favorite tournament probably I've ever played, I got chosen to play at Southerns in Little Rock, Arkansas, and they only take 10 girls from each age division in the state. And that was always one of my goals, to be selected. You have to be, your name's put on a list, and they choose you like based on how well you do on tournaments going into the summer. So just being able to go to Little Rock and go to Southerns and have my name, me representing Kentucky, was probably my favorite tournament.
Well, you've gotten to play a lot. You got to go to the state tournament several times. What's the difference between playing in the regional tournament and then going up and playing in the state tournament?
Well, regional, the difference, I would say, at the state tournament, you see a lot of those Kentucky kids that you would see playing summer tournaments, like in USTA tournaments on the circuit and things like that. So it's always neat to go up there and see, you know, people I played through the summer, girls that I, you know, had tiebreakers with in summer tournaments. So I would say it's just a different atmosphere and just a higher level of competition.
You know, Todd, I'm sorry, you know, talking about Belle here, you know, when she mentioned she had won 3 regional tournaments and going for her 4th one, but she didn't say that, you know, a lot of times when you look at an athlete in sports, you hardly ever hear someone winning 3 years with a chance to win 4 years. Belle's humble enough to know that what little I know about her, she's not to say that the competition around here is bad. You know what I'm saying? So she's, and you ask her the question a while ago, how much tennis does she play? She plays just religiously every day with her dad, you know, anybody that she can. So she's not telling you everything about Belle, what I know about her. You know, she's deserving of anything that she gets, along with Maddie and Shelton as well, being the only senior we got. But yeah, just because you win a region doesn't mean your region's very weak. I mean, but you got to work at it, and she's one of those that does that good job of doing that.
Well, and having a chance to win it 4 years in a row, I'm not sure how often that even comes up.
I'm sure, you know, I'm sure it doesn't. But she also, like Maddie, and they've been leaders. You know, it's amazing to me as a coach when you can just sit back and have your, say, like your quarterback on a football team, just do exactly what you want them to do. And those two right there are pretty good examples of teaching the younger ones. And that's what we got coming up next year, is young kids that they're going to hopefully emulate the time and the determination and those things that Belle and Maddie had put in over the years.
Talk to Maddie a little bit about the challenges of playing up at the CCHS courts. It's a little cool sometimes, a little windy. Does that actually help you sometimes, though, trying to play in that kind of weather?
Well, I wish I could say it helped me. It helps that I practice there and I'm used to it. It's just up on that hill, and they've got it's always freezing cold, and almost no matter what day it is, if it's hottest day of the year in August, July, there will be some sort of wind pushing the ball up there on that hill. So, yeah, that's definitely been part of a challenge, but I would say it works as an advantage to us Caldwell kids, because most, you know, teams from other schools come and they aren't, you know, trained to play in that kind of environment. So
I was going to say you can almost play the wind on some points.
Yeah.
Depending on which way it's coming from.
Wind is definitely a challenge, yeah.
Which I really like the way the courts are laid out up there, like the facility, but just it's on that hillside, and like we said, Steve, it's during the spring it's one of the coldest places in town, and there's just no way to stop the wind.
Yeah, and I was talking to Jay and Tori and Brian Weiner that helped us a little bit. You know, sometimes there's an advantage when you flip a coin if you want the ball or play defense in football. Well, I said, well, why wouldn't it be a challenge that maybe we'll take the wind or, you know, and force the other team to get on the other side and have to battle the wind and try to get that first game in. And, of course, there's a lot of variables that go into, you know, to that. And but, yeah, I'm like Belle and Maddie. That wind was.
The sun is also
Well, I was going to bring that up, that you don't think about it until you get out there, but that's why I always try to take pictures from one side because you're with the sun.
Right.
If you get around to the other side and you're playing on that side, some days you're looking right straight into it.
Yeah. See, courts are usually built the other way, so that
But it's nice to have those courts. Again, I think it's a great facility. I just maybe we should plant some trees or something.
That or something out there. I mean, but it's been there for I don't know how long the tennis courts have even been there, to be honest with you. And,
well, you know, that used to be booster parking for the football team.
Yeah,
back in the day.
And of course, you know, but it is what it is, and we just have to deal with it, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, Belle, we appreciate you coming in today.
No problem.
Anything else you'd like to add? Congratulations on just a great high school career, and I hated that you guys didn't get to play this spring.
Yeah, me too. I'd like to thank Steve at least for stepping up and coaching. You know, after Miss Farmer and Raymond stepped down, they were great coaches, but he didn't have to coach this year, and he stepped up to the challenge and did it, and kind of went into it blindly. So.
Well, how many years did you play on the high school team?
I've played since my 5th grade year. Been on the varsity team since 5th grade. I've played number 3 doubles.
Oh, so you were kind of teaching Steve.
Yeah, she was. I'll admit that. Her and Maddie and Shelton both, and there's other kids on the team that taught me. And yeah.
Well, again, appreciate you coming in. Congratulations on just a great high school career,
Thank
and
you.
good luck in the future. That's Belle Engelbright. And Steve, anything else you'd like to add?
No, I'm good. I'm good, Todd. Thanks for the opportunity to recognize these 2 seniors. They're well deserving of any awards that they receive, and best of luck to Maddie and Belle and their future.
And you guys at least did get one match in. I mean,
we got one match in. I mean, you know, and that's probably some that didn't get matches in, but we were fortunate to get one in.
Well, I said my entire spring sports was one tennis match, a softball practice, and a baseball scrimmage, and then everything got stopped. So it's unfortunate, but again, what can you do?
You can't.
Appreciate you guys coming in today, though, and again, good luck to both of you in the future.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Todd.
That's Steve Cookie Hicko, Caldwell County tennis coach. Also, thanks to seniors Belle Engelbright and Madi Morgan for stopping by today. Need to get to a break here on the show, but we'll be back with more right after this on 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Our team at Farmers Bank is committed to doing our part to protect against the potential spread of COVID-19. So effective Thursday, March 19th until further notice, we are operating on a drive-through only format. Our drive-thrus at all 3 of our locations will be open for normal hours. If your needs cannot be met through either our drive-thrus, internet banking, mobile app, or by phone, please give us a call to set up an appointment. We want to thank you for being a customer of Farmers Bank and appreciate your patience and support during these times. This is Jeff McDaniels of Farmers Bank and Trust Company, member FDIC.
Shop local, buy local, save big deals.
It's here. The Loyal Listener Big Deal Store is online and waiting for you to shop and buy gift certificates to local businesses. Go to WPKYonline.com. Click on Loyal Listener Big Deals. Here you'll find dozens and dozens of gift certificates. Some you'll even be able to redeem from your smartphone. Shop and buy 24 hours a day and save a ton of money in the process. Save on oil changes, dining out, haircuts, car washes, and more. Our store never closes, but you better hurry. You never know how long each deal will last.
.3 WPKY. Thanks for joining us this morning. Joined now by Misty Porter of Caldwell County Youth Incorporated and the youth season. Misty, I think maybe on the way this summer. Still a lot of questions to answer, but at least the communities involved with the Lakes Area Baseball and Softball League have had some discussions about trying to play ball this year.
Yeah, we had a meeting Monday night at 6 o'clock, Zoom meeting, and all the counties are still on board. So that's a plus. I should say all counties, and one may be considering not, but they're not for sure yet. So with that being said, at least we are taking steps forward in case we can have a league this summer. So
the governor says that some youth sports can start on June 15th, but seems like a big challenge to try to get things going that quickly.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling coming up. Leif Riggs and I talked the day before the governor come out with the June 15th date. So we was trying to get ahead of the game then. So he released it the next day. So I got on the phone with Dwight Meeks, and we just started planning, trying to get ahead of the game before, the June 15th date came up. So with that being said, we was excited just to maybe get the kids out and get them ready to play. So
I guess the toughest thing is there are just so many unknowns right now as far as the whole COVID-19 thing, what kind of guidelines the governor's going to give everyone. Right. It's tough to make plans because you just don't know.
Right. That's the thing. We're waiting for all the guidelines to come out from the state to kind of give us a heads up to what to expect. we all pretty much know, social distancing is going to be one of the main things. Excuse me. So, just, trying to get ahead, trying to get registrations out to see if we even have the numbers to be able to get teams together to be able to play. And not only that, we just want to let them have a season, but make it as safe as for the kids and parents as possible. So.
Well, and if we do have a season, I think you touched on it, it's probably going to be a completely different ballpark experience than what we're used to.
Yeah, it's, this is uncharted territory, basically. The unknown is what we do know. We don't know what to expect. So with that being said, we're trying to make it to where the kids can play. So this Saturday we are having registration from 10 to 2 at the ballpark. So to get our numbers, so see what numbers that we have, and to see what we can do as far as games. That's the big thing. And then the other challenge is going to be the guidelines that the governor is going to hand down, and how to hold those practices and the games, and how to hold our fans in the park, basically to have it a safe environment.
Yeah, the whole social distancing thing gets difficult when you start talking about ballparks and sports and youngsters trying to play. It's there's a lot going on.
Yeah, we had our board meeting last night, and we touched on several different things, and we still have some more things to kind of hash out. But our basic thing is to let them have a season, the best of our possibility that we can give them, but make it a safe, because that's one thing I want to stress to the parents. We want them to know we're going to try to make this as safe as possible for their kids and for the parents and the fans, to be out there. So
have looked at some guidelines some other states are kind of putting out there, and there's a lot involved of coaches wearing masks, maybe umpires wearing masks, trying to separate the players, not using the dugout, having the players sit 6 feet apart. So there's a lot that's going to go into it.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've been kind of trying to look and talk to others about, is what maybe the governor is going to do. I know he's looking at other states and how they're doing things. One state that I looked at this morning, they was talking about dropping off your kid, not getting out of your car. I don't know how possible that can be. I don't know if that will happen here or not, but that would kind of be hard on the age limit. I wouldn't be surprised either that if the governor sets an age limit on what youth sports that can be done. That wouldn't surprise me. So we're just, as Youth Incorporated, we just need to take that step to make everything as safe as possible. But there's when you come out to the park this summer for those games, if all possible, you're going to see things differently. You're going to see, a lot of different things, with concession stand bathrooms, where the kids probably would sit for, dugout, maybe not in the dugout, probably not even have bleachers out. You'll have to bring your own chair and you sit amongst your family. So that's things we're looking at. Of course, having hand sanitizer in different spots of the park. Just, some things that we know that we're going to have to do, but we're just trying to get the kids at least a little bit of playing time. So I just, parents, if they would just, bear with us and help us along a little bit too, and, just to know that we're just trying to do the best that we can for the circumstances.
It really feels like most people are excited at the potential of getting to play, but yet it always comes back to you have to do it safely.
Yes, and that's one thing too I want to let parents know. If you're scared, if you just don't know how this is going to be, you're kind of worried about your son or daughter being out there, because they are little and they don't understand the circumstances that's going on, and they're going to be so excited to see their buddy they haven't seen in 3 months. So the normal thing for them is to go up and give them a hug or a high five or whatever it's going to be. And, they may be nervous about all of that. And if they have already signed up, one thing with us, we'll give you a reimbursement. If you don't want your kid to play, that's exactly, that's fine. We don't expect anything different. And that's, we're not going to be upset about it whatsoever. That's something you feel like you need to do for your child, then we'll give you a reimbursement and maybe try it next year. So
you talk about the kids wanting to give a high five, and it's kind of, kids are going to be kids, but we've kind of conditioned them that way, that, to be a good teammate, pick your pick your teammate up, give them a high five, pat them on the back, let's go. But
yeah, good
now you can't do
sportsmanship.
that.
Yeah, exactly. And, that's one thing I think about, as umpires or referees, in whatever sport it is, we always shake hands, bump fists, and that's no longer going to be acceptable. So it's going to be interesting how not only for Little League this summer, but even high school sports in general, how that's going to take place. So it is. It's going to be interesting. So.
I can think back to when I was playing Little League, and of course Bill Hobby said if the other team beats you tip your cap, walk over there and shake their hands.
That's true.
And now,
That's
we're
true.
not going to have those kind of things.
Yeah, I mean, basically when you win a game, you're like, yeah, and you want to go give high fives like good game, good game. You can't do that. You basically will wave at them basically and say good game, and you walk off the field. And and that's another thing I've been reading. As soon as you win, you walk off the field and you got like 15 to 20 minutes to get your stuff, get off the field, and go home. So it's not even going to the concession stands. A lot of them are not letting concession stands open in different states. So we're waiting on that guideline from the state, to see what protocols that we're going to have to do. But it's just a waiting game right now, but we're going to try to make this season as easy as possible and, let them play. But we do have registrations from 10 to 2 Saturday at the park. And we do ask, I just really want to stress, it's like a drive-through service for you. Do not get out of your car. Let us come to you, and it's going to be raining anyway. We hope not, but that will make it easier for you not have to get out. But just sit in your car, and we'll have everybody drive through. I think we're going to have plenty of help, and if you do want a reimbursement that day, we can fix you up. We'll get that done for you. But when we met on Monday, our season looks as a 6-week season. Tentative, we may shorten it a little bit due to school starting and a Little League football starting. So we just set it for a 6-week season. The first game starting July the 6th, running through the middle of August. And like I said, that can be shortened because of things, that can happen. So, but that's what it looks like. We will have a little tournament at the end. And it's just, like I said, we're trying to do this to give the kids something to do. So,
talking this morning with Misty Porter from Caldwell County Youth Incorporated. Need to get to a break here on the show, though, but we'll be back with more right after this on 1580 103.3 WPKY.
They sponsor local ball teams. They care that your civic group's fundraiser is a success. They give that little extra to help your church and Sunday school class. They care about this community just like you do. Why? Because they are local small business owners. They live, work, and worship where you do. They give to us to make our community better. Now it's time for us to give back. This Friday only, our loyal listener Big Deal store will be full of gift certificates to our local small businesses. Invest this Friday in gift certificates to our local businesses. You'll have a year to use the certificate, and 100 pennies on every dollar will go directly, immediately to that local small business. Remember, you can only buy these special Give Back gift certificates Friday only. It's Give Back Friday. Our local businesses have done so much for us. It's time to give back.
And we're back on the Sideline Report here on 1580 103.3 WPKY. Thanks for joining us this morning. Again, we're talking with Misty Porter of Caldwell County Youth Incorporated. Youth Incorporated has scheduled sign-ups for Saturday at the Ratliff Park Complex. And Misty, you guys want people to enter from the Food Giant side over by the softball field and kind of pull around the concession stand that way.
Yes, and you exit out towards the baseball field. So just to make it easier on everybody and to still make sure our guidelines as far as social distancing is, intact. So we just want everybody just to be patient with us that morning. But we have a large, time frame from 10 to 2. So to get everybody signed up, and it's still T-ball to 15U. 15U, I just kind of want to touch on that a little bit. With the dead period with Kentucky High School Athletic Association has been extended. And with that being said, we're looking if we can even have it right now. We was hoping we could, since the kids that age didn't get to play high school or middle school baseball in the spring. So we thought we would have several to turn out and be able to do that, but right now it's just up in the air for that situation. So with 15U, you can go ahead and still sign up. A lot of them were asking, don't worry about as far as 15 baseball and softball. You don't have to pay, you just see what numbers we have. But from T-ball through 12U, so it's 8U, 10U, and 12U, we'll have sign-ups Saturday. And just like I said, I just want to stress, just don't get out, stay in your car. We'll come to you, and we'll get you taken care of.
And for T-ball, for the little ones, it looks like that season's going to be pushed back a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like it's kind of tentative right now to see when we would start for sure, because that's a lot that we need to discuss. Because again, I really, I wouldn't be surprised if the governor puts an age limit on our youth sports this summer. So with that being said, you can go ahead and sign up, and then we'll figure out what day that season it will start. So hopefully they will have a season, but it may be pushed into August, a little bit. So, but if you don't want to sign up yet, we will go ahead and have probably another sign-up day just in case, when closer to time. So.
Well, and like we said, there are so many unknowns that it's tough to make any definite plans, and it looks like school will probably start late. I'm guessing fall football is probably going to get started late, so maybe that will open up a little more time for youth baseball and softball leagues this summer.
Right, and I can see that happening, but, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't start on time. This is my opinion only, and then we have a break right before basketball season starts. So anything's possible at this point, so wouldn't surprise me.
And the Lakes Area Baseball and Softball League added a community this year. Webster County is going to come on board, so still going to try to play travel games, but the schedule might just be a little different than what we're accustomed to.
Right. We're going to try to narrow that schedule a little bit, and what I'm saying is, but maybe only 2 fields going each night, and it wouldn't be such a cluster of people. And again, that also is going to detail how many numbers of kids we have. So that's how many teams. So it's just going to, depend on that. But, yeah, Webster came in, and as far as right now, everybody is still in it. Dawson is the unsure. They're not for sure. So, and we're waiting on their numbers. So by the end of this month, we should know, the numbers from each county and how many teams we have. So, and that's what we're looking at. We're going to, of course, our registration is Saturday, but we're going to take stragglers for the next week so we can get our numbers in on time. So, we'll take some stragglers in for a week after, but then we'll have to have a deadline. So
that's one of the key things, is trying to figure out how many teams each community has so you can actually make the schedule.
Exactly. I went over numbers last night here in Caldwell, and each age group from T-ball to 12U softball, baseball has got 1 team each. So we know we at least have 1 team per age limit. So it's we may have 2 more after Saturday, but then again, our numbers may be down because of the COVID-19, and we just have to play with what we got. And, that's okay. And, we'll make do, and we'll make sure they'll have fun. And that's the main thing. I want them to still have fun. And I know some of them's going to be a little timid and just of the unknown, but, if we can make it as safe as possible, I just pray they have a good time. So.
But so many things to consider, though. Even what do you do between games of a doubleheader? One team's going to have to, or the 2 teams that play the first game are going to have to clear out before the next teams are going to be able to. No more waiting by the dugout for your turn. You're going to have to be away from there.
Yeah, and so that's that's a good question. That's one thing that we're waiting on to see the guidelines, and and then you have to look at different factors. Bathrooms. You see kids going in and out of the bathrooms all the time, so the bathroom's a factor. Concession stand's a factor. And like you said, in between games, do you wait 30 minutes until, the other team to, warm up at a different field? So it's going to be interesting how this is all going to be played out. And it's just, a waiting game as usual. But maybe we can get the guidelines and get it all worked out and, get the kids out there so they at least can have a couple of games and get to throw the ball and hit the ball, because I drive through town and I see kids right now outside throwing the ball up. So they're ready to do something besides sit at home. I do know that. So.
Once again, tell us about sign-ups on Saturday.
Sign-ups Saturday at the ballpark from 10 to 12. It's a drive-through service for you. We ask you do not get out of your car. If you need a reimbursement, if you want to sign up, we have registration forms out there if you don't have any. But it's from 10 to 2. Come in through the softball side. You'll go around the concession stand, so that's the Food Giant side. You'll exit through by the baseball field. And we'll just try to help you. We'll try to answer any questions that you have, because I know several has got a hold of me about different situations, and they just don't know what to do, and they're nervous, and I completely understand. I mean, if I still had a kid that age, I would be kind of hesitant too, and I would just have to ask those questions. So
I think everyone's a little anxious, but I think everybody wants to play.
Yes, and I think as soon as they get out there and getting that sunlight and fresh air, that's going to do them some good, and especially the parents too. But and one thing I kind of want to touch base too, umpires, we'll try to work with you as well. We still need those umpires, and things are going to be different there too with the umpiring situation. And so if you are in any county that you want to umpire, get a hold of Leif Riggs or myself. And but like I said, we're going to try to make this work for everyone. So
I think people are just going to have to be patient
Yes.
when we finally get going, because it is going to be so different than what we're accustomed to.
Yes, yeah. I mean, the patience is a big thing. Having common sense about things is another big thing. We are just trying to work this the best we can to make everyone safe. And like I said, you're going to see changes at the park. I mean, that's a given. And if we can just work together and, like you said, have patience with everything that's going to go on, because we're doing this for the kids, and this is for the kids. And from a lot of parents, they can't wait for the kids to get out and do something different besides being at home.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway.
Well, good luck with the sign-ups on Saturday, and best of luck this season with the youth baseball and softball.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And like I said, feel free to get a hold of us, Dwight Meeks or myself or any of the board members, and we'll try to answer your questions as good as we can right now. So
that's Misty Porter of Caldwell County Youth Incorporated. Thanks to Caldwell County tennis coach Steve Cookie Hicko and seniors Belle Engelbright and Madi Morgan for stopping by earlier. That's going to wrap up the Sideline Report for this week. Thanks for listening. This is Todd Griffin, and you've been listening to the Sideline Report on 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Celebrating 70 years of community service. We're 1580 103.3 WPKY Princeton.